Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Tankgewehr M1918 mod, which is being released by user Nova Finch. And what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is the real-world World War I Mauser Tankgewehr M1918 Anti-Tank rifle, and I absolutely love this thing, as not only is it a cool, real-world, historic World War I gun, which I think there should be more of in this game, but it's also a very, very powerful anti-tank rifle with a crazy amount of modifications that you can really change up this gun to fit your needs. So let's jump on over here and have a look at what exactly we do get with the Tankgewehr M1918, which in its most standard form will do a whopping 240 damage with a new 13.2mm round, with a firing rate of 1, range of 167, accuracy of 55 for an incredibly heavy weight of 43.8. This is a big old gun, and as you can see here, it is a pretty good looking weapon. Pretty basic, of course, but I mean, this is a World War I early anti-tank gun, so not too fancy of a thing, but I do love the details on it, and it certainly looks the part for the M1918s I've seen, and I absolutely love the bipod on this it's built in, because it's got, you know, the little spikes there, because, well, it's a giant heavy gun that was actually meant for, like, two-person crews, so you're going to want something to really stick it into the ground when you fire this thing with all of its kick, because, again, anti-tank gun, good times. And like I mentioned a moment ago, it has a huge number of modifications. I don't know if it is the most I've ever seen, but it is certainly one of the largest list of modifications I have ever seen for a gun mod on here. There are just so many that we're not really going to go into too far of detail when we get to that part of the video here, because there's just too many to go over. We'll go over sort of generalizations, but yeah, it's a lot. It's such a great fun gun to play with tons of options. Now, as for how you do get it, it's going to be pretty simple. It will be added into the world through the leveled loot list, and you'll find it on Gunners as well as in stores. And boy howdy, you're going to want to watch the Gunners who are shooting you with these, because man, they're powerful. Now, if you don't want to wait to find one, though, you can also go to any chemistry station in the world where you have the new Tankgewehr M1918 category where you can build one for just some steel and wood. I don't know why it amuses me so much that it is that, but I mean, yeah, this gun basically is just a giant heavy hunk of steel and wood, and so yeah, that's what you need to create it. But we also have the ability in here to create the custom ammos that are added in by this mod. So we got the 13.2 that comes standard for this, the Soviet 12.7, and 700 Nitro Express. Now, all of these are going to require 50 caliber to create, and there is the ability to change in the modifications the Tankgewehr here to a standard 50 cal if you so desire. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And yeah, just very easy to create. You can make it pretty much right off the bat with just how little material it needs, and it's pretty great. It's actually one thing that kind of worries me, not really worries, but I find a little bit odd. One of the things you'll see here in a moment with the modifications is that so many modifications require a huge range of perks, and this gun to create does not. I just find that a little bit awkward. Now, we're gonna have to select this gun because it does have some of the more, you know, modern day rails, and of course get those to properly display, like with any gun we've done like this. We're gonna have to have that as our selected one, because, well, Fallout is always weird about that. And there we go, into this gun we go to show off just all these things. I mean, just right off the bat, look at all the different modification categories we have here. It's a ton! Starting with the receiver, which is, I think, the only modification category with one option that you can't change, because it's the one and only receiver. For actually changing up the damage on this thing, all that's going to be done down in the ammunition category. So yeah, the receiver is just the one single thing. Now in scope, oh boy, we got lots. We got two iron sight options of just a normal and one with a trench shield, which is just awesome. But then we, of course, do have a number of reflex sights and holographic sights and different kinds of, zoomed optics. And like I said, they're all going to require different levels of perks, so it will take you a while to really fully upgrade this gun because of these perk requirements, which I like. It really gives this gun more of an arc to grow with you. You'll start off with the more basic things with lower perk requirements and eventually work your way up to these much fancier ones. And I really like when guns do that, which makes me more wonder why they didn't do it for the gun. But oh well. Now next in the muzzle category here, again, we've got a ton of options. Just, some normal bare muzzle or the muzzle adapter. But then we've got all sorts of scavenge things like oil filters or refitted heavy machine gun muzzle brakes. We then have handmade ones here like squared off things, heat shields, etc. And even some more fancy military grade items, which is where you also start to get into like flash suppressors and even full-on silencer suppressors over here. Again, a ton of different options to go through. That may take you a while to get what you want because of the different perk requirements. Now then, in the barrel category, it's a bit smaller and more manageable. We've got the standard 983mm, but you can go with a longer 1.28mm trench gun, or of course a 763mm infantry, 545 shortened, or even, for some reason, a 14mm snub barrel. You can even, a little thing for later, you can, take off the, I'm suddenly blanking on words here, but you can turn this into a sawed-off gun, basically turning this into an anti-tank pistol, which is insane, and I love it. Now then, after the barrel category, we've got the bipod option, where you can either have the standard attached, or if you don't like it, you can have it removed. Personally, I like it on there. I think it's a good part of the gun. Now then, we have 3 rail options, but first, you're gonna actually have to go down to the barrel mount here, where you either have just the standard Notch V rear sights, or go with the tactical rail that fits right up there on the front. And then after that, you get the left, top, and right, and all 3 of those are going to have the same things in here of either none, a couple of different flashlights, a couple of different lasers, and also some combo versions in there. So again, a nice little selection of options and 3 different rails to put them on. Now next is probably my favorite category, the ammo type. Now this isn't going to change up the caliber yet, that's another category. This is actually what the bullets are going to be for, so we've got scavenged, we got makeshift, we've got military spec, and then we have all sorts of individual ones in here, like for, scrap steel, poor quality, incendiary coating, irradiated coating, and you've got these on like the makeshift ones too for things like frangible, and then you get into the really, really cool stuff with the military spec where you can have like high explosive, heavy slugs, etc. And a big thing here is not only going to be upping your damage and adding things like incendiary, but this is a tank rifle, or an anti-tank rifle rather. It actually is meant to penetrate enemy cover. Unless, of course, you go with certain ammo, like the heavy slug, it's gonna not do as much penetration, same with, I think, the canister shot or the frangible shots, but of course, the things like the armor penetrating, etc., well, they're gonna go through that cover, and it's gonna be magnificent. It's an anti-tank rifle. It just makes sense. Now, then we have the stock category. That was the word I was trying to look for earlier when I was thinking of sawed-off. We've got either full, sawed-off, and then a number of other various ones like magpul, etc. to really change up the gun's style a bit. And of course, things like your aim down sight accuracy, etc. Now, after the stock, we've got the ammunition, and this is where you change that caliber, where you've got, the ones we could create, like the 700 Nitra, 12.7, and the Mauser one, but you can also go to the standard 50 cal, or even shotgun shell if you so desire. And amusingly, that actually brings it up to the highest damage. I mean, just from ammo alone, it goes up to pretty good with the other different bits and bobs. But yeah, it's pretty nice having these different kinds of ammo here. And I apologize, I meant the Nitro Express with the high damage, the 510. I don't know why I said shotgun. My brain just went weird there for a moment. But yes, the shotgun though is still pretty weird having a giant rifle like this with a shotgun shell. But fun times. Now then, after that, we've got the barrel mount, which we already went over. That's the rails. Then we have materials. We've either got polymer, factory issue wood, or lightweight wood. And then finally, we've actually got two stylistic things. If you go with like a hollow sight or many of the different optics, you can actually change the reticule style here, and you've got 9 fun different options, which is pretty cool. So you can change up that if you don't like any particular reticule, and if you do grab a laser on a rail, you can also change the color. So very cool there. Just a lot of great options. Like I said, tons and tons of things, and I love that. So let's take a look at this thing firing. Because boy howdy, after all those modifications, we are going to run a little bit longer on this than normal. Let's go back to the standard with the 240 damage. Oh boy, that's the standard. And fire. Oh yeah, listen to that glorious boom. It's just magnificent. Oh, I love it. It is, of course, a, single shot bolt action, so it is going to be super long to reload this thing, but with the damage you can get for this weapon with all the different modifications, oh boy, and not including perks, you can get well into the 600s. Again, not including perks. If you go with perks, I wouldn't be surprised if you could probably get this thing up to the 7 or even maybe 800s. I don't know for sure, because, well, it was, boy, just all the different mod combinations, it's hard to tell, but it's a powerful gun. Now let's take a look at one of my modified versions here, our short pistol version. Whoops, wrong one there. There we go. Yeah, oh no, I did not go pistol at this. I went with that sort of one. But yeah, I did go with the weird, tiny, short barrel here, and also a shield, which is fun. And even this gun is going to do 318 with 6 fire. Hard to aim hip firing with this because the shield, and when you go iron sights here, again, because of the shield, it makes things a bit more difficult. I mean, I'd say this version of the gun would be more of a VATS fire weapon, but yeah, good stuff. Ooh, an appropriate song for this gun playing right now. Gotta love the radio station. Alright, and then of course, this was the most powerful one I created earlier, just 420. Like I said, even with some of the other things, we could easily get that higher, but I wanted to make this one because, giant freaking silencer, and that just amuses me. So, fire. Even with the silencer, it's a pretty loud shot. Love it. Alright, let's get ourselves a Deathclaw and take him out with this thing. Let's actually go with the smaller one first. Yeah, there we go. And, oh boy, yeah, that's going to be interesting to get, though, because of the... I'm already bad at aiming, so having to use this... Ooh, boy. And fire! Holy crap, it's hard to see the Deathclaw. Even though he's so big, it's hard to see him. That shot, like I was mentioning before. There we go. Get the body on him. There we are. Not great, not great. We are hitting his back, one of his most protected areas. Not good. All right, there we go, there we go. And... Ooh, that was a pretty good shot on him. One more. That's all we need. Can I hit him all the way down there? Ooh, hard to see. Never mind, I got him. God, I love this gun. Okay, and let's grab my more powerful one. Again, we could have made this thing even more powerful. In fact, I am. Let's go switch this over to the 700 nitro bullets, just to get that up there, because that is, the 420 is just not enough. Let's go with... Oh, I don't have Gunslinger. That's why I didn't do it. Well, you know what? We could do that real quick, because I do want to get that wrong thing. I would like to get that 700 nitro. There we go. 1 point in Gunslinger. Lovely. And... ammunition. 700 nitro. I did make 100 of those bullets. Now we're at 510 damage. Just for 1 perk point. Not too shabby at all. So let us... Oh boy. Spawn him in and run. And... Holy crap, that was almost all of his health. And he's down! Oh, I forgot that it does that. Oh boy, yeah, we've got things that have knockback on here to knock them on their ass, which is just hilarious, having an anti-tank rifle that is powerful enough to knock a Deathclaw down if you get a good shot on him. Oh boy, that is just Magnificent. Oh, I only got him in the leg, but he's down, he's on the ground. Finish him. And boom, there goes another Deathclaw. I love this gun. It is a great World War I weapon. It was made at the end of the war, so it didn't see a huge amount of use, but it was used for into the 30s, I think. And yeah, it's just a powerful anti-tank weapon. That's a load of fun to fire, huge boom, tons of different mods, and just overall, a good time. So if you'd like to see a more no, that's for the shorts. If you'd like to take a look at this mod for yourself, which I'd certainly recommend you go and do, you can have a look at the link in the video as per usual. But until next time, my friends, thank you for watching, as always. Well, have a good one.